Hey there. Well, we're all familiar with the classic TV shows we used to watch as kids, and we loved them for their humor, characters, conflict, and stories.
Hey! Who's next?
Ladies first!
Of course, iCarly was the super popular Nickelodeon show that kept us all entertained for a long while. But did it ever occur to you that watching the show now as an adult is a totally, completely different ballgame than watching it when we were kids? It will blow your mind how many little hidden adult jokes are included in children's shows, which completely flew over our heads at the time. Today, friends, we're going to be talking about those types of inappropriate jokes in iCarly, most probably written in for our parents to find some humor within the show as well.
What do you say we move this party to the couch?
The couch is broken.
Well, why don't we go break it some more?
Okay, so before we dive in and discuss them, go ahead and click subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on our future videos. And give this video a thumbs up if we made your now adult selves chuckle a little bit. Well, let's get to it. So, you guys remember Miss Briggs, right?
I hate citrus fruit. Back into class!
She would often butt heads with Carly and Sam since the girls didn't really want to listen to anything the teacher had to say. Well, there's the episode where they go to Miss Briggs' house to spy on her, and as a kid, I completely and totally missed the innuendo of everything, literally everything, that happens while they're at the house. First of all, they hear some sounds coming from inside the house. This already made me cringe rewatching it as an adult. As a kid, I thought, maybe she's doing chores. Well, not exactly. To our utter relief, she's exercising, solo, in her house. Well, it doesn't stop there. They find a room in her house that's essentially a shrine to Randy Jackson. Okay, so Miss Briggs has a little crush? Well, goodness gracious. In the next scene, they spy on her as she starts talking to a cardboard cutout of Jackson, and then proceeds to wiggle her butt up against him in a rather, specific location.
Would you like to see how toned my glutes are?
Ugh, honestly, we noticed none of this as kids, but it's far clearer to us now what Miss Briggs would have liked to do with and to Randy Jackson. Well, in that exact same episode, we hear yet another piece of innuendo, this time in regards to the male anatomy. Spencer and his new girlfriend are having a discussion about, well, balls, and rewatching this, we were concerned that Nickelodeon was going to allow something not so PG to occur right on our screens. But all of a sudden, she starts juggling actual balls right in front of him, which is obviously a metaphor for what they really did. Wink, wink. But later, the same metaphor is used when they break up because she stepped out on him, juggling balls for other dudes.
I broke up with Connie. Found out she was juggling for other guys.
As a kid, we thought, aw, she shared her talents with someone other than Spencer? Ugh, poor guy. But now, we know what you actually did, sis. Not cool.
Yeah! Go, balls, go!
Speaking of Spencer's roller coaster relationship status, there's an episode later on when he breaks up with another girl.
I don't want to date you.
And Carly is determined to help him find the love of his life through online dating. Well, his videos were, for lack of a better phrase, thoroughly ineffective. Poor guy once again. In his frustration, he says he's going to go take a shower, since he gets his best ideas when he's wet. Okay, friends, we don't know about you, and maybe it's just that our minds are programmed to make something inappropriate when it's actually not and totally innocent, but this for sure made us think that he was talking about something other than literally being wet with water in the shower. This is where we need you guys to weigh in. Did you think this was a little hint of innuendo, or did you think that the choice of words just happened to seem a little suggestive in nature? Definitely let us know in the comments. So later on in the series, there was an episode in which we learned that Carly was madly, thoroughly convinced that Bigfoot actually existed. And the three friends, as the three friends often did, set out to investigate and essentially spy in order to seek out the furry mythical creature. Well, she thought she saw something, but then realized it was just two squirrels. And she thought they were fighting.
Two squirrels wrestling.
But Freddie quickly corrected her, simply telling her that they were not wrestling, but that they were doing something else.
Carly? They're not wrestling.
Okay, of course we know exactly what those squirrels were doing. I'm sure my parents chuckled to themselves, but were also alarmed and hoped that I didn't understand the insinuation. At the end of the day, Bigfoot may not be real, but at least the squirrels had a good time, am I right? Well, the writers must have been intent on staying on the theme of animals wrestling, since later in the episode we see Spencer researching the rare beaver, the spawn of a beaver and a raccoon. Well, he refers to said beaver and raccoon socializing, quote-unquote, by a river.
2 graduate students from the University of Fresno recorded video of a female beaver and a male raccoon socializing by a river.
Which, let's be honest, doesn't mean they're sitting around for tea time and crumpets. Well, in the interest of sparing you further mental images of animals engaging in all kinds of socializing, I will quickly move on. You are absolutely welcome. And we're back to poor single Spencer. The show took us through the ins and outs of his various relationships, but this joke doesn't quite involve another person. Remember the episode where Spencer is stuck in Carly's skinny jeans? First of all, side note, I'm just saying it's totally normal to get stuck in a pair of skinny jeans.
That guy in a little coat.
Those things have a weird suction that when they're too tight, it makes it really hard to get in and out of them. So, Spencer, we feel you, buddy.
Richard, what's happening?
So he figures in order to fix the situation, he'll need to use olive oil to get the pants off. He then asks Carly where the olive oil is, to which she replies, "In the bathroom, where you left it." Okay. Let's do a little equation, shall we? As we all know, olive oil is for cooking. Cooking is done in the kitchen. Therefore, cooking products like olive oil belong in the kitchen. So if it's not odd enough that the olive oil is in the bathroom, Carly specifically refers to it having been left there by Spencer. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we all know what kind of cooking Spencer was up to in the bathroom using that olive oil. What? That joke didn't land? Okay, fine. That's fair. Moving on. Well, friends, in the very last season of iCarly, the writers did not disappoint on the inappropriate humor.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
The show was definitely known to take popular symbols and names and slightly alter them so that we could figure out what it was referring to. For example, Carly always had a pear on her laptop, which is of course almost identical to the Apple icon on a MacBook. The local GameStop for kids is Bunk'd Festers, which we're pretty sure is just a play on Chuck E. Cheese. But friends, these are not the only references. There's another that's not quite as innocent as the ones we mentioned. So when Spencer can't get into Funky Festers without a kid, he brings along Guppy for the fun, who actually ends up sitting aside and reading a book while Spencer plays all kinds of games. Well, what's the name of the book he's reading? 50 Shades of Beige. Aw, what an informative sounding book. But of course, as an adult, I'm sure you understand that this is in fact a reference to 50 Shades of Grey, which of course explores some more, exploratory adult themes. We really hope Guppy wasn't reading that kind of content and that his book was actually just about some pretty cool shades of the color beige. So friends, there you have it. A whole lot of adult innuendo that sailed right over your head as a kid. Watching these back gave us a good laugh, and we hope it did the same for you. Did you find any other adult jokes throughout the series of iCarly that we didn't mention here? Leave us a comment below. As usual, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell as we bring you more juicy info, gossip, and speculation about the shows and stars you know and love. Until next time!